Hey guys, I've got some Parfums De Marly. So you know we're talking about niche, we're talking about high quality. Strap up. This one should be a goodie. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the evening. Hey, listen, Parfums De Marly, Galloway. A lot of you guys haven't heard of Galloway. Or if you have, you haven't smelled it. When we hear about Parfums De Marly, we think Sedley, Carlisle, Pegasus. I'm missing a really popular one. Wajan. What's the one that smells like cherry chapstick? I'm actually just gonna go look this up. Parfums De Marly, Altair, Perseus, or Percival, Greenlee, Leighton. Those are the ones everybody talks about. Okay, now Galloway. This was provided by my boy Kix Griffey. Thank you so much, Kix, for sending this. He initially told me, and I know it's been a while since we've had some story time, so here's a good story. So I was doing a live, and I was talking about one of my favorite white fragrances. It's funny how we can't really define certain colors when we say a red fragrance, a white fragrance, stuff like that. But it's funny how all the bottles typically color-wise tend to be around the same thing. Like if you look at Angel Share, it really mimics kind of the vibe and a lot of times the profile as something like Wajan, even something like Black Orchid or Bulgari Man in Black. They all kind of have this black and gold trim, and they're not all the exact same fragrance, but they're in the wheelhouse of dark, seductive, sweet. Now, with Galloway, Kix told me that if I liked Lalique's White, which is kind of this very clean citrus, coriander, tamarind, vetiver type of fragrance, then Galloway is the next evolution of that kind of profile. So I am here to agree or disagree. We're going to load that test strip up, give it a second. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to go ahead and throw it on skin. Why not? It's Parfums De Marly. Let's throw it on some skin. Because if I love this fragrance, I'm getting a bottle because I love Lalique White. And Lalique White is one of the most slept on fragrances in the house. It isn't the best performer, but as far as clean fragrances that have a lot of signature flair to it, I got to give it to them. They really take the linen, clean, soapy feel and give it a crazy amount of depth and elegance that makes it signature. They put tamarind in it. They put citrus. They put vetiver. They put, I believe, coriander. They put peppers in it, like white pepper or pink pepper or something like that. Just a soft pepper note. So it's not just clean, but it has texture elements, flavor profile. It's not just a dryer sheet linen or something like that. And for that, it is just an absolutely spectacular fragrance and a one of one in its category. And I highly recommend it over everything like CK Everyone, Coach Open Road, that type of DNA wheelhouse. Even CK1, Starwalker, Momentum Unlimited from Bentley. And I love all of those fragrances. But Lalique White is an elevation from that in terms of its dimensionality. Okay, Galloway. Let's put our nose to this. One thing I can say right off the bat, and I don't want this to be a comparison video, but I do need to just say, it is richer than Lalique's White right off the bat. I'm interested in the performance. This is long lasting, so that's nice. I'm guessing about 6 to 8 hours, at least 6 hours. This is supposed to be a citrus aromatic fragrance for men and women. It is clean. It's white. It's citric. I get a nice tart, like either grapefruit or bergamot or lemon lime mix. It's a very tart, super bright, spritzed citrus. I'm really hoping there's some pepper in this. It feels musky a bit. It warms up on skin. It actually gets ambery and sweeter on skin than on test strip. And that's important because on the test strip, it feels whiter, if that makes sense. On skin, it feels much sweeter, much more warm and ambery, but still carrying that white DNA. Very nice fragrance. It's almost on skin. It's like clean linen, citrus with like the tiniest flick of Wrigley's cinnamon red gum. Like somebody just like kind of brushed your arm with it. It's not super red gummy, but it has this kind of cinnamonic, ambery sweetness just brushed on it, like a light brush of it. And it gives it that sweetness and almost that slightly powdery texture. Let's go ahead and go to the window here. This is the bottle. If you guys haven't seen it already, it's all white, and I love the white presentation. I think Wajan, for me, is the sexiest looking Parfums De Marly bottle, but the white is so nice. Up top, we have a citrus medley, so we're spot on with that. Pepper as well. Orange blossom and iris. I do get some powder and some floral. I don't get like the floral flavor profile of iris, but I definitely get the powderiness in this. I think it's more orange blossom and citrus than anything, but the iris definitely does give this very soft texture to the fragrance. Very musky, very ambery on skin. Do not smell this fragrance in the store. On test strip alone, you will misjudge the fragrance entirely. On the test strip, it feels very much orange blossom citrus pepper. On skin is when you really get the transition to iris musk and amber dominance rather than citrus orange blossom pepper dominance, but they are still there. They just become secondary as the fragrance transitions. Okay, I love this fragrance. For me, it's a wrong button.
Perfect.
Great fragrance, 10 out of 10. I'm absolutely loving it. Let's skip to the usual suspects and clean up and wrap up. So, ageless fragrance. Men and women can wear this. I see it being great on a woman. I see it being great on a man. Ageless, it has a maturity to it because it's so fresh, airy, and light. I think any age can rock this. This would be an easy grab, dumb reach, sophisticated, expensive smelling, clean fragrance. Seasonless. It can go, I think it can go casual, semi-formal, and formal for those of you who want to just have a rich smelling, clean smelling fragrance with a little bit of complexity and flair. It's got the textural elements of the powder. It's got the dimensionality with the pepper, citrus, and floral combo. But then you get this sweet, ambery musk that brings another facet to it, a maturity, an elegance. Guys, when I say it's ageless, kids, you will smell a little bit grown, but in the best way humanly possible. You'll basically smell like a rich kid. Older folks, 30, 40, 50, you will smell elegant, classy, angelic, both as a man and as a woman. Any season, any reason, dumb reach, blind grab. I'm so glad Kix sent this to me. I'm going to get a bottle of it, no question, this year. And it's absolutely flawless to me. I love the category it sits in. I don't think there's enough clean fragrances that are signature enough to be worth my niche level purchase dollar, if that makes sense. A lot of fragrances, I think, in this category, you should just stick with designer or clone and call it a day. But this is one where I can say the price is justified, and it's a great fragrance. Sprays on this. It says it has great performance, but I'd imagine it doesn't really change in smell between 3 or 4 fragrances being super conservative, but I think you got to go 6 to 8 if you really want to go the distance with this fragrance. I would almost love to spruce up midday with something like this, just to revisit that opening so I can get more of that citrus, orange blossom, and pepper as a primary rather than a secondary. But the iris musk amber combo in the back is just as beautiful, and I absolutely love it. Like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell so you can stay informed with all of our episodes that drop every single day in the variety of content that we have. Do you have Galloway? Have you tried Galloway? Where do you think it fits in the PDM lineup? Because to me, I almost think it's top 4 at this point, and it is a phenomenal one-of-one signature fragrance out of the entire line. and it should be considered if you're into anything. This is in the wheelhouse of things like Initio's Musk Therapy, Amir Celestial, and obviously Lalique White, as Kik suggested to me, would be the elevation of that fragrance. I still think Lalique White has its place and its pocket and its beauty and its necessity in a collection, but Galloway provides the sweetness. And I would say Lalique White is more of a slightly less projective, slightly less performing, but just as good fragrance. It just leans more on the tart citric, pepper, tamarind, vetiver side. And this gets a little bit more seductive on the dry down on skin with that iris, musk, and amber. Brother and sister type of fragrances between those two. But man, it is absolutely phenomenal. I think in the clean category, if you have Ganymede, Musk Therapy, and Galloway, you are in great hands. You could pretty much leave the clean category alone and move on. And the alternatives to that at the cheap level, I think, would be something like Ferragamo's Bright Leather, Glorious Oud Royal Blanc, which is the Initio Musk Therapy clone that I called a 10 out of 10, and Lalique White, which runs about $25. Galloway is going to put you back about, see what the retail's going on this, $380. Dang, for a 125. So you might want to get a travel spray, boys. I think Lalique White is a great alternative to it, though I can't call it a 1-to-1 clone, but it is darn close, like 80% close. But even in the 80% or in the 20% lack of closeness, it's its own fragrance and it's beautiful. So you're not losing anything in quality and as a fragrance. So anyways, this is the scent bubble. We were reviewing Parfums De Marly's Galloway, and it was an amazing 10 out of 10 fragrance. Definitely look into that. I think it is blind buy worthy without question. But if you have any hesitation, obviously make the best decision, which is probably a Decant or going into a Neiman Saks or Bloomingdale, something like that, and giving it a try. Until next time, be blessed. This is the Scent Bubble signing off.